Last week, OpenAI held their Developers Day, and I hope you've seen the video on it. If you haven't, I'll put a link to it in the description, because I think it's important, if you're an investor in the future, that you understand what is happening. We talked about this Friday on our Stock Talk. That's our tribe coming together on a Zoom call. And some people felt that this is the second nail in Google's coffin, that as a result of what we saw at Developers Day with Sam Altman and the CEO of Microsoft showed up as well, that this is the end of Google as we know it today. I'm not so sure about that. I want to wait and see. But what I saw in this was the vision of what is going to happen and how it's going to be implemented. I did a video last week on Snowflake and their involvement with NVIDIA, and that gives you some understanding also of what's going to happen. So I encourage you to see that. But right now, I want to show you the closing remarks of what Sam Altman had to say at the end of their presentation. And pay attention to what he says at the very end, because the world is changing.
Pretty cool, huh? All right, so that Assistance API goes into beta today, and we are super excited to see what you all do with it. Anybody can enable it. Over time, GPTs and assistants, our precursors to agents, are going to be able to do much, much more. They'll gradually be able to plan and to perform more complex actions on your behalf. As I mentioned before, we really believe in the importance of gradual, iterative deployment. We believe it's important for people to start building with and using these agents now to get a feel for what the world is going to be like as they become more capable. And as we've always done, we'll continue to update our systems based off of your feedback. So we're super excited that we got to share all of this with you today. We introduced GPTs, custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extended knowledge, and actions. We launched the Assistance API to make it easier to build assisted experiences with your own apps. These are our first steps towards AI agents, and we'll be increasing their capabilities over time. We introduced a new GPT-4 Turbo model that delivers improved function calling, knowledge, lowered pricing, new modalities, and more. And we're deepening our partnership with Microsoft. We do all of this because we believe that AI is going to be a technological and societal revolution. It will change the world in many ways, and we're happy to get to work on something that will empower all of you to build so much for all of us. We talked about earlier how if you give people better tools, they can change the world. We believe that AI will be about individual empowerment and agency at a scale that we've never seen before, and that will elevate humanity to a scale that we've never seen before either. We'll be able to do more, to create more, and to have more. As intelligence gets integrated everywhere, we will all have superpowers on demand. We're excited to see what you all will do with this technology and to discover the new future that we're all going to architect together. We hope that you'll come back next year. What we launched today is going to look very quaint relative to what we're busy creating for you now. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for coming here today.
As I watched that, my thoughts went back to 1989, and I thought, what if Bill Gates and Steve Allen had held a developers conference back in 1989 and explained to me what Microsoft was going to do? What if Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs had held a conference back in 1989 and had explained to me what they were going to make under the label of Apple? What if Jeff Bezos back in it would have been 1999, had held a developers conference and explained to me what was going to happen in e-commerce and how he was going to bring anything and everything that I think I wanted to buy to a screen, to my computer screen, and I could have delivery the next day, in some cases later in the day. Wow. What if from Mark's room in Harvard, he and his buddies had a conference and explained to me what Facebook was going to be and how it was going to bring my family and my friends all together and how I would learn from it and share? What if such a conference had occurred? What would my financial structure, my financial position be? Or how would it differ if I had had that kind of information shared with me so that I could make a good investment decision? Well, that's exactly what Sam Altman did last week in his developers conference for ChatGPT 4 Turbo. Watch this video. It's going to be 90% of it's going to be over your head. And you're going to say, I don't really understand what he's talking about. Don't worry about it. You will in the future come away with what I came away with. I have to own Microsoft stock, and I have to try to buy it as best I can. It hit a new high next week. Do I go in and buy it at that price? 5 years from now, I'm going to wish I did. And I think you will too. So if the market gives us any kind of pullback, if it's overbought, which technical analysis says it is, then buy some more. Start building a position in Microsoft. Start building a position in NVIDIA. Start building a position in Snowflake. Start building a position in Amazon. These are the companies that are going to change your world. Learn and watch and understand how Google is going to step in. It's real important that they do. The market is sitting back and waiting to see what Google's answer is. I watched Google's developers conference and I was impressed. I think we're going to see a division. Microsoft owns the business world. Google owns the consumer world. Will they develop their AI products to stay in the niche that they're in, or will Microsoft replace Google as your go-to place for information? Not so, you may still go to Google to find a restaurant in your community, but if you've got a question you want to ask and you want an answer and have the ability to dig deeper and ask more questions, or if you have something you want to create and write a paper on it and make it available and have excellent artwork on it, I think ChatGPT and Microsoft's Copilot is going to be your source. This is important. This is probably the turning point in your investment career. Understand it. Go to the conference. Again, the link is in the description. Watch it. It's 46 minutes. Most of it's going to be over your head because he's talking to developers. He's creating a platform from which very intelligent people can come in and say, I can build a product around that and then sell it to Kerry or sell it to Zeke or sell it to Bob so that they can improve their position in life. That's what this is all about. It's going to be business oriented. It's going to be consumer oriented. You're going to have a virtual assistant that you will ask any question and they will give you the total wealth of knowledge. And then if you want to create something from that turns into a business, it's going to be possible. You aren't going to have to code. You aren't going to have to be an artist. You aren't going to have all these creative skills that you've had in the past. Hell, you might even be able to sing and replace Taylor Swift on the concert circuit. I don't know. But what I have seen is the world is changing. And in the next 10 years, if I live that long, I won't recognize it. As Sam says at the very end, you come next year in November, and what we've just shown you will look very quaint. What I also want you to recognize is what we know as ChatGPT was introduced to us last November. 1 year later, it's grown substantially. That's how fast this is coming. So you have to be quick as well. Make your investment decisions. Build your positions in those companies that are going to change your world. All right, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I'm excited because I'm living and understanding the change of the world. I didn't have the knowledge back in 1989 and 1990 to recognize what the internet was going to do. But I recognize what artificial intelligence and then machine learning is going to do to make my life better, to make my children's life better, to make my grandchildren's, to make my great-grandchildren, of which I have none, better. And it's all going to come really fast. So pay attention. Join a tribe. I don't care whose tribe you join, but join a tribe where you can have a discussion like I did with Bob from Florida that said, he said, I think Google is done. I don't know, but I'm having conversations about it. I want you to do the same. So get on the bus, come join our group, and make better investment decisions, learn how to keep more of what you make, and build family wealth so that you can make a difference in the lives of those who follow you. Talk to you again tomorrow.